All right, so that's the first secret to getting your foot in the door is you don't need a big brand name or a company to get an interview, so forth. So this will transition us into our second Q&A. So you asked the question, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer that while people are, okay. All right, okay. What path would you recommend for someone who has a master's degree and 4 to 5 years of experience in a specific industry? So it depends on your particular industry, but pretty much big firms will apply. So this applies, yes, Big Four has been answered. So the Big Four firms, McKinsey, Bain, BCG, as well as other firms will also do it as well. For example, if your master's degree and your 4 or 5 years experience came from, let's say, the healthcare field, then a lot of the healthcare firms will love to be able to interview you. For example, your LEKs, your OCNCs, your Simon Kuchers, and so forth. And then if your, for example, your particular degree comes from, let's say, finance, then the Oliver Wymans of the world will love to view it. So I would think about doing some research in terms of what you're able to have done. But as a master's with 4 to 5 years experience, you would be coming in as an experienced hire, but pretty much the major generalist firms will be love to talk to you, assuming that the specific industry is something that they work in. For example, if you did 4 to 5 years in IT, you would only be able to work in places that have ITs. All right, so I have a question coming in anonymously while you guys think about your questions as well. So let me know, Toby, if I answered your question as well. All right, the question is, I'm still an undergrad, but worried about structure. Okay, so private question was asked, you're still nervous about was from an undergrad who's nervous about structuring the work experience to make it look. So you just saw Arham's experience. He was an undergrad as well in terms of, and you're gonna find plenty of people who are undergrads as well in terms of structuring the work experience. So you're gonna learn a lot in terms of being able to do it. So the big part takeaway, and we can talk about this afterwards as well, is for the person who asked me privately, is that there's a huge potential in being able to get an interview, especially as an undergrad. Because again, because undergrads don't have that much work experience, they're looking for purely potential. For example, they're looking at, did you do any coursework that is problem solving at your internships, whatever you had? Did you work with people? Did you lead teams in student societies and so forth? So similar to Matt, who didn't have that much experience, we were able to craft his story as well. So to think about the ways that you can take what experience you have and talk about the 4 points we made. 1, problem solving. 2, working in teams. 3, leadership potential. And 4, fitting into the company. And if that doesn't answer your question, so I won't say who it is since it's private, we can talk about it after as well. All right, another question. By the way, you guys can also unmute yourself and ask too, as in I like reading the chats, but you guys can also unmute. All right, so do you have to know someone who works in the company you're applying to in order to get an interview? The answer is no. A lot of our clients don't know anyone to work in the company. We're gonna talk about networking in a later, unit later on today about networking, but the short answer right now is you don't need to know anyone. As in, it's good to know people, but it's not necessary. As in, a lot of times, a lot of firms that our clients apply to, they don't know anyone. They're able to structure their application and be able to get the interview. For the experienced hires, the positions may not be posted online. Should we network a lot and reach out to partners in order to get interview opportunities? Yes, so for all the interview questions, I know you guys have some networking questions. We have a whole entire section on networking, so I'll answer that question in very much detail during that session as well. Awesome. Anyone have any questions? So any networking questions, we're going to answer that before lunchtime. So we spend a lot of time on networking. So let me know if you guys have any questions on the resume so far or anything else that's been popping up in your mind up to this point. Awesome. Okay, so if you guys think of more questions, we'll have a lot of more Q&A sessions as we go along as well.